Hey everybody, welcome here. It's Cam and Kyle. It's a Cam and Kyle show. We are excited to talk tonight with you and about doing ChatGTP using AI to write your ads, write your copy. And so Kyle and I were playing around with this a few days ago and just seeing how powerful it is. So what we want to do is shoot a short video here just to kind of talk about what we found so far and just some of the powerful things you can do with very little experience and knowledge. You can jump stuff into these fields, these web forms, and you can create some pretty awesome ads. For those of you who saw the advertisement for this session, that was all created using ChatGTP, the free version, very basic. And yeah, so Kyle, tell me a little bit about your experience with this stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Cam. I would have this much experience in the grand scheme of what is out there right now, but even the experience that I have, it's a lot of fun and it's a huge time saver and it's very powerful, right? You and I just playing around with ChatGPT there, just realized how powerful it is as a tool to help you create ads, edit things, just make things sound a little different. You can change tone of how something is written. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to use, and with just a little bit of playing around, you could learn a lot with it and really start to put it into good use.
Yeah. So I think what we're going to do tonight is, we're going to work on creating an ad or two and do some different variations with it. And so what I'll do is I'll share my screen and I'll show you my ChatGTP page. And now, from the little that I know about this, you come here. I have created a user account now, but basically you come here to the message area and you put in whatever prompts you want. So, you could say, create an ad for my rent to own house, and it'll come up with something, but it'll be pretty broad and pretty vague. And I think what you were saying, Kyle, is that you need to be more specific to get a better um, ad that's more precise for what you're looking for. So you had some tips on how to do that. What was that?
Yeah, to get the best outcome. So AI is going to fill the gaps. It's going to utilize its knowledge base to create something. And if you are quite generic, you're going to get a pretty generic response. So there's an acronym that I came across for AI prompting, and it's the acronym BRIGHT, BRIGHT. And what that stands for is, first off, the B is for brand. So you can start off with who you are, what is your company, and what is it that you do.
Okay.
And then, so the next part, R, is the role. So you can tell it what your role is or what you want AI to do for you. What is the role that you want AI to play out here?
Okay.
I stands for the instructions. So that's what is the task or what needs to be done. What do you want the AI to do for you? G is for the goal. So what is the goal of the deliverable? And this can also include a call to action as well. H is for how. So how will this be delivered? And how do you want your audience to interact with whatever the AI will create for you? And finally, the T is for target. So what is your target audience? And this is probably the most important part, is giving it a really good definition of your target audience so that it can speak directly to them.
Okay. Well, with that, let's create an ad targeting a rent-to-own client. So we haven't even talked about this. Should we use a generic company? Use mine or yours?
Whatever.
Well, let's try yours.
All right.
So brand and what you do.
Yeah. So um, my company is Katie Properties, and we facilitate ethical rent-own real estate transactions.
Ethical.
Rent-to-own real estate transactions.
Okay, so that's the B.
Yeah. So
What's
next would be the R, which is the role.
yeah.
So what role would we like AI to play today? And then we'll give it some instructions as well. So um, please create an ad.
And it's important that we say please to a computer, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, please create an ad.
yeah. I mean, that's ultimately telling it what its role will be. What is the task or what needs to be done is the instructions. Um, so, I mean, maybe we could put a little more description of what the ad should be. So please create an ad. We won't talk about the target yet. We'll talk about that at the end. Or it could all be intertwined together, right? Could be please create an ad targeting tenant buyers, and we can get specific on that. You say targeting tenant buyers who are, what do we want to target today, Cam? Do we want to do young families?
Okay, young families. So 35-year-old. Two kids.
Yeah. Um, so there's our target. The goal of the deliverable could be that I'm not trying to jump ahead, but the goal would be visit the website or, call this number today.
Okay. Okay, so Katie Properties.
Yep. Sorry, started with my company is KD Properties.
And we facilitate ethical rental and real estate transactions. Please create an ad targeting tenant buyers who are 35 years old with families with two kids.
Sure.
Um,
And then let's put a goal and say um, the call to action would be our goal is to have yeah, go ahead.
our goal is to pique the interest of these families who want to get into home ownership but can't yet qualified for
Excellent.
once we
Excellent. That's a great description of who we're targeting.
once we have their attention, we want them to click on the link for more information, or do we want to be more specific?
I think for more information is good. And here's the other thing. You just told it we want them to click on the link for more information. It's going to create a script for us. We can have it, edit and do more script, but also you could just tell it, please change the call to action instead of click on the link for more information. Please prompt them to visit the website to fill out our online application.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll, it would rewrite it with that new call to action.
For sure. So do you think
So
we've got enough here to hit enter, or are we missing something yet?
that's pretty good. That talks about the goal. The how is how it'll be delivered. Um, this would be obviously just delivered in text, so
Mhm.
it'll be there. Let's say that we wanted to do this exact same thing, but do it as a video, and we wanted it to create the video script. We would tell it that. That would be the how.
Right.
But in this case, we're just creating some copy.
Sure. Okay. Well, let's
And
see.
then the target, we have a really good defined target audience there. So I think this is I guess one more thing is you could tell it what kind of tone you want it to use right now. If we want it to be playful and funny, or if you want it to be serious and empathetic,
Mhm.
you could tell it what kind of tone you want, and it'll spit something out. And then you can always tell it a new tone to get more copy from that. So
For sure. Why don't we leave it as a vanilla statement so far, and then we can start playing around with some of that stuff. So let's play this and see what it comes up with. Hey, Dean. Okay, so here's a draft of the ad. Dream of owning a home. Katie Properties makes it possible. Rent own your dream home. Ideal for families with 2 kids. Can't qualify for a mortgage? No problem. Build equity while you rent. Move in now. Own your home later. Wow, we didn't tell it that information. That's pretty cool. Click here for more information. Um,
pretty spot on. It didn't fill in too much. So I mean, let's just get it to elaborate a little bit more, right?
yeah.
And
So
I mean,
one of the things I notice is that you've got two types of people. People who like shorten to the point like this, but then you got others who like to read and read stuff. So why don't I say change it to long form? See what it does. Okay, so basically it just took what it had and made it long form. It's pretty good. What other change did you want to make?
like we had said, you could change the tone. So maybe say rewrite this in a playful and funny tone.
Okay. Hey there, superhero parents. 2 awesome kids. Ever feel like you're stuck in the endless renting loop? KD Properties is here to rescue you from the clutches of renting boredom. Say goodbye to a mortgage woes. Wow, this is really good. Ready to adult like a pro? Click here. I like that. So yeah, I mean, basically using your bright acronym that we talked about at the top, we entered this information here and it created, well, we've got 3 different drafts of it now. We've got a short one and we've got a longer form and then a more playful one. So, I mean, how much time we spent on that? A few minutes. And that's just kind of to catch someone's attention. Now, one of the things with ads is that you will have numbers as well. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy and paste some details of one of my ads on the very specifics of the numbers. And
Yeah, this is one that we had worked on when you and I were playing around, and it has a lot more context to it.
yeah,
And so ChatGPT keeps that context and it just really adds to it, right? It fills in again, fills in some of those blanks, and again, it'll do it with whatever tone you tell it to.
right. Okay, so I've just copied and pasted my information here. And basically, this is what I've got on an ad. I will, further on down the line in the ad, lower in the ad, I'll give them two options. So in this particular house, 10,000 option up front, and then monthly payments of 2,450, and then a 20,000 option with monthly payments of 2,250. So I'm asking it to rewrite this copy. Let's see what it does. Welcome, Greg. Good to see you. Okay, so obviously it's very similar because it's got numbers. It hasn't changed any of the numbers, but
But it tightened it up a lot and made it
big time.
more precise and to the point where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even that opening line is still great. Own your dream home, even with credit challenges. Are credit troubles holding you back from home ownership? Fear not. KD Properties is here to turn your dreams into reality. I mean, that's fantastic right there.
I love that KD Properties. Yeah, and it's like you said, it tightened it up, right? Because mine, there's a lot of words there, and a lot of people skim, including myself. And so I'll skim that. Whereas here it's like option one, 10,000 down payment. It gives me 3 steps.
Mm-hmm. Now, I would just caution to make sure you still read and review what it spits out, because
Oh yeah.
it can spit out errors.
Yep.
I think you and I, when we were playing around last time, it got something wrong. It might have not uh, recognized that there was a rent credit or something. But anyway, it appears to have it correctly this time,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Credit back.
And then yeah, a call to action at the bottom, ready to take the leap. Click here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, fantastic. And I believe one of the ones that we had done well, maybe just say, please add emojis.
And for those of you who are jumping online, we found it's important to ask ChatGTP to say please,
Yes.
please.
We must be polite even with the AI. There you go. Pretty straight and to the point on that one, but yeah, I mean it adds um, a little bit of color, a little flair, and so it's great.
You can even, well, right there. So we've been doing rewrite. There's a button there, to regenerate. Copy it.
I assume you can ask it to do it in another language, and then you'd have a bilingual ad if you were in Quebec or Eastern
Yeah.
Ontario.
Yeah.
Good question. Let's try that. Yeah, what's the official language in Ontario?
It's not Leaf Nation.
Oh, you guys were so close.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Horseshoes and hand grenades. Horseshoes and hand grenades.
So I can't
That's
read
cool.
French, so I don't know if that's correct or not, but I'll assume it's correct.
Wow.
Oh, here we go. Rewrite in this is a very common language in Manitoba. Oh, oh my goodness, check that out. I would say, well, I would say over 50% of my clients are newer to Canada. Of that 50%, probably 35 to 40 would be Filipino. So this is their language.
Huh.
Not that, that's the other thing is like, this is cool, but when someone doesn't know English very well, it's hard to communicate effectively with them that their rent's late or that they're responsible for repairs up to the first $500. And I've actually found that people that, when English is a second language, when there's a trouble arising, some sort of friction, their English gets worse and they don't understand what I'm saying. All right. Yeah, Dean, this came out of a question you asked a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah, this is awesome. And I'm sorry I was late. I was waiting on the other link for the meeting to start. So I tried two links and then I got the link off the school
Yeah,
um
yeah.
app.
Sorry about that.
Anyway,
So do you have anything off the top of your head in terms of an ad that you've been thinking about writing, and we can chunk that in here and you can give it a go.
oh, it might be interesting to try the tired and frustrated landlord.
Okay.
I haven't got anything started, but
Okay. Well, let's talk
you
about
know,
that. So if we're going to target tired and frustrated landlord, um, Kyle, why don't you help me walk through the BRIGHT acronym? So brand, role, instructions, goal, how, and target. So
Mhm.
let's
now
create.
what's that you're reading from?
So it's an acronym basically to like, because I could, okay, case in point, um, write and add to tired and frustrated landlords. I can do this, but it's not going to be very effective because it's not very specific.
Yeah. But what
Um,
was the acronym you had?
yeah, I'll get back to that. Hang on, I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
showing you a case in point what happens here. So it'll write something for us, and it's probably going to be better than what. Oh my goodness, it is actually. I gave it no instructions, as you just saw. Being a landlord can be tough. Dealing with rent payments, maintenance issues, et cetera, et cetera. Katie Properties will understand your challenges. That's why we offer a hassle-free solution. Sell your property to us. Okay, that's a little bit different, but it's very close. And let us take care of the rest. No more late night calls, right? Because in our model, it's like let us take care of the property for you. Let us control your property for $100, and then we'll buy it off of you in 3 years. But this is amazing for what I put in here.
Mhm.
So get fair cash value, hassle-free, say goodbye to tenant troubles. Okay, so now let's rewrite it using the acronym, and um, Kyle will help us understand what the acronym is going through. So Kyle, let's write it using the acronym as Dean now. So
Okay.
what's the brand?
Dean, do you have a brand?
Breakaway homes.
All right. All right. So again, the acronym BRIGHT is what we're going by. So the first is your brand. So what is the company name and what does it do? So I guess in context of this particular ad, my company is Breakaway Homes. And are we going to do this as a sandwich lease?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
let's, targeting a TFL. So yeah, sandwich lease. Yep.
Okay. And we help tired and frustrated landlords make more money on the sale of their property. On the sale of their property by offering a rent-to-own solution. Okay. So that's the brand telling it who you are, what you do. So the R is the role. So the R would be, what is the role? You can put what is your role. If let's say you worked in a company and you're an administrator and you wanted to do something to help you with administration, you could tell it what you do. But in this case, we're going to tell AI what we want it to do. So what is AI's role in this regard, which leads right into instructions, which is the next part. So please, we got to ask nicely, right? Please create us an ad. We can put our target here as well. So who do we want to target in this exact one? We've said tired of frustrated landlords. Do we want to say anything more than that?
Let's
You could start there, or you could look at somebody that wants to retire.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's say baby boomers, because that's probably our biggest market to choose from.
Yeah, baby boomers with multiple rental properties. Who are, yeah, go ahead.
There's a hot subject for us today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think after many years of writing, I would get there correct? I spell it wrong every single time. Okay, so that's now we got to go to BRIG, goal.
Yes. So what is the goal of the deliverable? And this could include a call to action.
Hang on,
So,
I missed I. What was I?
sorry,
Intent?
instructions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in this particular case, the role is to create an ad for us. And the instructions are, I guess, create an ad and then a little bit more of the context behind that. So the goal in this case, we could just put the goal of the ad is the last time we had said to catch their attention. And then we can add a call to action. So the goal of the ad is to catch their attention and perfect. Send us a text for more info or to book a view, to schedule a viewing.
Perfect. That's even better.
Okay, so that's the G for goal. How? So how will this be delivered, or how do you want your audience to interact with it? And again, I think that's kind of in here already. I mentioned it before. If you wanted to create a video that you would maybe put on social media, or even for paid advertisements, if you're doing a video, you could say, create a script for my video, right? So that could be the how it's being delivered. In this case, we're asking it to basically just create copy. So.
Mm-hmm. And we've labeled our target.
Yes.
So
Tease target, which is probably the most important point, and I think we've been quite descriptive with our target.
yeah. baby boomers with multiple rental properties.
So yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the chat. If you guys want to copy and paste that, you've got it, because that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Again, similarly to our first crack at it, Cam, it's very straight and to the point of what you told it to do. So from here, this is where you can play around.
Right.
So I think the last time, Cam, you simply said, please make this long form. And
Yeah.
it just really elaborates on it and gives you more.
Which is a great way, because then you could have this on the front and then the long form on the other side for those who want to read it. Because this could be a door hanger.
Mhm.
I don't know if I would mention the rent to own.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would want to get their attention, make contact, and then that would be something that I would bring up later.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
You're talking about the funnel, right? The top of the funnel, you want to be more broad, and then you
Yeah,
narrow it
exactly.
as you go down. So yeah, absolutely.
and that's pretty bang on with how I do it, Dean. I don't say rent to own out of the gate. I first build a rapport and talk about some of the deliverables.
Yeah. Like what I see you doing is the bit about, I'll buy it in 3 months, or I'll buy it in 3 years, or whatever, and then
Yeah,
if you're still going in the right direction, get into the nuts and bolts of it.
exactly. So let's see if they can make this a funnier version.
You forgot to say please.
Feel like you're juggling
Juggling
chainsaws.
chainsaws. Turn that frown upside down. I love it. Maximize your moolah.
Okay, let's this is reality here, but let's just say that baby boomer just lost their spouse and they're trying to get rid of their properties.
Dignified solution. I like that.
Dignified,
Simplify
smoother
your life.
transition. It sounds like you're getting them into an old folks home here. This is really good. I mean, this
Yeah.
This is amazing.
simplify your life. Text us today to schedule a viewing. Let Breakaway Homes guide you towards a smoother transition and maximize your property's value while minimizing your burdens. Wow.
That's a fantastic ad right there.
Yeah.
Anybody that is in a position where they're looking to dispose of a property for this type of reason, this would touch the heart.
Yeah.
So this is great. And I mean, Cam and I are brand new to this, right? This is the second time we've essentially kind of played around. And so spending a little bit of time with this, it doesn't take much to get some. And I mean, if you Google AI prompts, AI prompts for marketing or whatever, you will get an absolutely ridiculous amount of hits right now. So you can play around. ChatGPT can display it in different ways. Like right now, we're just doing it as very, just text, just paragraph form text and sentences.
Mhm.
You could have it display, in charts or graphs, and I'm not sure if ChatGPT. I don't think it has the ability to do any pictures, but another thing that I wanted to touch base on is we're talking about creating the ads here. There's a lot, there are absolutely a ridiculous amount of AI tools out there now. I couldn't even try to tell you how many there are, but there's lots that do different things. So just some that I've come across. I use otter.ai, OTTER.ai, and it actually joins every meeting that I schedule, every virtual meeting, and it takes meeting minutes for me, and
Yeah.
it's actually incredibly accurate. Again, you do have to give it a read and a review, but it's very accurate, and it gives summaries. It gives you kind of like the major points that it needs to hit, and it gives you headings from them. It's fantastic. So here's the great
OTTR
thing. Yeah, Otter, OTTER.
or ER. Okay.
Yeah,
Dot what? Oh, dot
dot
AI.
AI. Yeah, I just have the free
I've
version,
been
so you can
on the
see.
other side of the desk when that's been happening.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it'll tell you. It gives it puts a message in the group chat saying I'm Kyle's Otter.ai taking messages, and it'll actually send an email to anybody that has their email attached to the meeting. It'll send a summary to them as well. So it's really great for that. But here's the thing. You have a really good meeting. Maybe it's even this meeting or a one-on-one or something where you're talking, or a podcast where you're talking very specifically about, a business point. You could take that, it converts it. So now it's taking your audio or your video, converting it to text. You can then take that text and put it back into ChatGPT and say, create me some copy, right? So break it down and create me 8 ads, right? We just did one. Like in that prompt, Cam, we could have just put create me 5 ads
Right.
using this, and it would give you 5 variations.
Very true.
So Otter.ai is one. There's another one called Descript. Again, that's where you upload audio files of your voice or other voices. It will learn the voice, and it'll say what you type in the chat box back in your voice, in the voice that you've given it. So
Wow.
so it'll learn, like right now I'm speaking, it's learning my voice. Sorry, Descript.
Oh, script.
That could be it too. And so it's going to learn my voice, learn my voice. And then I just tell ChatGPT, create me 10 ads. I then copy and paste them into this Descript, and it will read them in my own voice, even though I didn't have to do it. So, yeah, some other ones, Synthesia. So this is where it would be an actor or like an AI generated human that's giving this same message, but yeah.
Let's jump over to the Steve.ai.
Yes. So again, I don't know which of these are free version, which are absolutely needing to be paid. Steve.ai was that next one. It'll create you essentially an animated video. There you go. Courses, social media. So it'll get a little more information on what it is you're wanting it to create so that it hits the mark for you. We'll stick here on the Steve.ai one, but another one is, it's called Dolly 2. So DALL dash E, and then it's the number 2. It's the second version. But you can basically give it text and say, create me an image of this, and it'll generate images for you.
So you could design a logo with that.
Yeah.
Good.
Damn.
Let's see what happens here.
This is crazy.
There's also like Canva, which is a very popular tool for
Yeah.
creating. So it now has AI adapted into it. So I mean, I would suggest if you're wanting to create a logo, maybe try Canva. And again, there's going to be other AI tools out there far beyond what we've mentioned today that could still help you out with that.
Wow.
Looks like I got to upgrade to generate.
Okay. That might even just be because you said generate
Okay.
an AI one.
Come on, Cam, get off the wallet.
Try because that one it's got the kind of stars there. I'm not sure what would happen if you did text to animation.
Or text to video right here.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So as I said, I've barely scratched the surface with this, and I think the opportunities are pretty endless with this. I would I would just
I'm
Google
glad I threw
search.
it out there. Thanks to you guys for doing all this work.
Yeah, I would just Google AI stack, and it'll tell you some stacks, right? If AI stack for creating videos, and it'll tell you, yeah, create your script here or your idea here, then your script here, then it'll give you a stack of different AI tools to utilize. Um,
well, there is actually one called Stack AI. So
there you go. That pretty much describes it right there.
yeah.
It's a collection of tools and services. So I'd get maybe more descriptive and say AI stack for.
Yeah, it gets pretty technical pretty quick here.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think,
Holy smokes.
yeah. Yeah, I think what we've got here is just something that's, for us who are, Kyle, I don't even know how old you are. Are you still in your 30s?
No, not anymore.
But
That's all I'll say.
for us old guys here, or let me speak for myself, being an old guy here, this is great stuff. I mean, there's so
Wow.
much to learn and so much to apply. And I've relied on the past 15, 20 years to do my own creative writing. I've had a couple people help me and stuff, but I actually kind of enjoy the process. But just seeing how you get some specifics in there and then boom, it's like, wow, like that said it way better than if I had spent 2 hours crafting it and then came back and worked at it again. This was like in minutes.
Yeah,
So
like I mean, it's the process is probably pretty similar. You've got an idea of what your key points are and your the key ingredients or elements of your message,
mhm,
and then it wordsmiths it, and then you can play with it in
yeah.
terms of tone and so on and so forth. So that's with the time savings. Heavens to Betsy,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I might actually be able to golf this summer.
Yeah. And I would say, even just from again our limited experience here, quality in, you probably get more quality out. Garbage in, you might get garbage out. But I mean, it depends what you're looking for. If you spend a little bit of time ahead of time to determine what you want. So, for instance, I shared in one of our calls, our weekly calls for the 6 weeks to RTO cash flow. Um, for our marketing, we did a brainstorm session where we identified different target audiences within our tenant buyers, right? It's not just tenant buyer, right? It could be, new Canadians, it could be new divorcees, it could be self-employed, et cetera, et
Young
cetera.
professionals, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. There's a list that we came up with, and then we also came up with, attributes of those particular people. And then um, so we spent a good amount of time brainstorming this, and we have it in a table format in Excel, right? In an Excel file. So I could probably start just taking those, and we had to create like, basically these are different ads that we could have. Well, now I can just take that and now I can plug that into ChatGPT. And then I could take the next one and the next one. And so something that we have, say, 40 ideas, and we spend time coming up with the idea. Now, instead of just having 40 ideas, we could have an unlimited number of ads, which could be, it could be just, short form copy, long form copy, blogs. You have it, you can say create scripting for vlogs or scripting for videos. So now you're not only are you exponentially increasing the amount of content that you have, you're also able to do it on different media types. So very powerful spending some time with this kind of stuff.
I love it.
Cool. Any other questions or thoughts? Lots of work to do.
Yeah.
I'll make this video available and you can watch it from the top as well. And yeah, so get
I had a
creative
question for Kyle that's not related to this, if I may.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I watched the replay from last week, and you were talking about Brian Tracy,
Yeah.
and I've listened to a lot of his stuff more on the creative selling side. But what was that?
Look, Greg here.
What was that? What was that formula that he taught you? Something about if you set a goal, you do 20 action items or 20 to-dos toward that, and then I kind of missed it because I was multitasking at the time. But could you go over that again?
Yeah. I'm not going to claim to know it off by heart for certain. I'm kind of just it's just what I do recall from it. But basically, it said come up with your goal, and like that's the big
Yeah.
part to start with. What is the goal? Have it well defined. Know what it is you're trying to accomplish, and then come up with 20 tasks, 20 big things or goals, or sorry, um, 20 items that will move you in the right direction of that goal. So it's one goal.
Items or tasks or activities?
I mean, it could be any number of those. And ultimately,
Okay.
one of the things that he did say in this video that I saw, he says, and it's not 10, it's not 15, it's 20.
Yeah, I remember you emphasizing that.
Yeah. His
Yeah.
his words were essentially the first 5 will come to you in a matter of seconds. The next 5 might take a few minutes. The next 7 might take you, 30 minutes. And those last 3 to 5, I mean, it might take you a few hours. But it's those last few that might simply be the thing that takes it over the top for you. So he says it's 20.